Hey Mark, so here's what I want you to do for your circuits on Monday and Friday. So instead of doing the squat to curl dynamic, I want you to get in the wall sit position as comfortably low or as pain-free low as you can get. Back flat against the wall, arms back against the wall, and hold. We're gonna hold this contraction for 30 seconds. And then you'll have a 10-second transition and we can go into those wall push-ups. If you want, you can also hold this as a static contraction. If your shoulders feel okay, you can go ahead and do push-ups. Another option, if you want to make this more of a tricep exercise and less of a shoulder exercise, and you could do both things. So if our hands are in that push-up position, there's a lot of shoulders going on. But if you wanted to play around with it, you could also do like here and hold it so it's more in the triceps. You could go like that. Those are kind of like tricep extensions. So just some different options, but even holding here as an isometric hold is really, really challenging. And then of course, from there, you'll go into the high knee marches, and then cycle back through. If you wanted to progress that, so obviously like we talked about, you could go into, eventually over time, you go into a deeper squat. You could obviously hold heavier dumbbells, or in time, you could just hold a static freestanding squat curl, so to speak here. That'll be fine too. You can also play with different stances, so you could do a wide stance. So you're very upright and hold here. You may want to do this, for example, on Friday, where it's just wide stance, pushing the knees out, very upright, holding here. And on Monday, do the wall sits. Either one's fine. If your elbows feel great and you want to make this a contraction, that's fine, but I'm just giving demos to how you can make the whole thing isometric. Another variation you can play with, because we talked about shoulders, is bring those shoulders up and just play with rotating here, okay? Now even I have some shoulder restrictions, so it's tough. In theory, if we had perfect shoulder mobility, we could touch the wall here, touch the wall here, keeping this joint at 90 degrees, the shoulder. I have some shoulder restrictions myself, so it is tough, but just play even in a range of motion that you're comfortable with. Particularly, I have some left shoulder issues, so if I was to do right only, that's kind of no problem. But I mean, shoot, even just holding here, focusing on that thoracic extension and just holding that isometric would be good. So I just want you to play around with that. I want you to have a little freedom to play with these workouts, but those isometrics will be quite a challenge. On the Wednesday workout, instead of doing the deadlift to high row, which by the way, if it feels great, you can keep doing that, but an option to make that isometric is to just bend the waist, hold, you really focus on posture. Then we could turn it into some T raises. I actually updated your app so it says this, okay? This is gonna be great for the shoulders. If you want, you can still pick up the dumbbells and you could do a bent over hold or some bent over rows. You could also do those shoulder rotations here. That's gonna be very tough, okay? But I just want you to, again, focus on just kind of holding, contracting some of these positions. Once you're done with each workout, like I said, rather than doing the stretching at the end or at the beginning, at the end, I have really just one simple flow that I want you to work on that I think will really help with all of your mobility concerns. Specifically the knees and the shoulders. and the spine. So we'll start off with the basic cat camel. Okay, so hands and knees. Focus on tucking the chin. So this is the scared cat position. Tuck the chin, tuck the hips, push that spine to the ceiling, and then slowly bring the chin up, belly towards the floor, arching that back, and just work through these, okay? Nice and slow. No prescribed reps, just spend as much time as you want. You know, if you want to work on the neck, you can also kind of swivel side to side, working on the neck. So the neck's going to go up and down with the chin tuck, but you can also work side to side. You can kind of pull that hip towards the shoulder here, get the whole spine working. Okay, now for the shoulders, since we're already here in this position, you can also think about scapular push-ups, so kind of really pushing into the ground and then letting those shoulder blades come together. Okay, so shoulder blades together, shoulder blades apart. Shoulder blades together, shoulder blades apart. These are amazing for getting that I can't say that word. Glenohumeral socket moving, shoulder socket moving. Okay, and then last but not least, to continue working on the shoulders and knees, I want you to do some rocks. So maybe you want to put your hands a little bit out front, keep the arms straight, and start rocking. This is going to stretch the lats, helping you get those shoulders overhead, but also we're stretching the knees and the quadriceps, right? And so you can take that a little bit out of frame here, eventually all the way down into child's pose. Okay. Go ahead, you go. Go for it. Okay, and so you can just work with some rocks at first. Over time, ultimately, it would be awesome to even just be able to sit on the knees. This is full range of motion. This is probably all you ever need if you can get here, right? And so right now, maybe you're just stuck here. That's fine, and you're just kind of working through that. When you take the load off, it's easier to stretch through that because there's no weight bearing, okay? So you kind of take that weight off. But as time goes on, you could even turn these into a form of squats. And that is going to be amazing for the joints. No rush, just like we talked about. Everything when you're ready. But that's the flow I want you to go through. So save this video, maybe watch it again, and start implementing that here a month too. All right, see ya.